So there I was, minding my own business, eating my usual lunch of steak, waffles, french fries, and of course, scotch. And lo and behold, someone sends me a video and they say, BT, you gotta check this out and respond to it. And I say in my head, oh no. What is going on now? What do I have to address now? What idiocy is going to be bestowed upon me in my lap like a freshly birthed golden retriever out of the womb of a pregnant bitch? And I don't mean the kind that makes Call of Duty nowadays. Yeah, that's a pun. But no, I wanted just to see what was up here, okay? Like, what's going on? And right away, I see these comments. These are actual comments on the video. And I'm like, this is going to be good. So let's just play the clip. And I'll be honest with you, this is like an hour-long podcast from Tom Henderson. After hearing this, I have no interest in hearing anything this clown has to say, because it's just either a flat-out lie or he's just not a fan of the series to even say something like this. It is insanity. It is ridiculous. So let me just show you this. I'll respond to it. Then I'll get into the real meat and potatoes, the Black Ops 7 leaks. But this, I mean, I gotta tear it apart. I gotta tear it apart and give you guys the truth, all right?
People have this, when I was talking about rose-colored glasses, like, oh, but the old CODs didn't have SBMM and they retained players great. It's like, first of all, I don't think anybody has the true retention data. Like, you don't know what the active player counts were on the old CODs. Like, I don't know that Activision even knows that. So if somebody has that data, like, I would love to see it.
I'm sorry. What the fuck? Is this guy even... I'm sorry. Did he lie about his resume to get on Tom Henderson's podcast? I know Tom Henderson was writing those, like, X-Defiant hit pieces or whatever, and then the devs themselves, like, debunked him a lot. I think he also said that Battlefield 2042 would be really good. He talked to the devs and it was going to be great. Do these people just lie? Are they actual devs? Do they fake their resumes? How do you make this system? How do you work on Call of Duty and not remember when the player numbers were thrown in the players' faces front and center each time you logged on? To this day, you can go and see the player numbers on games like Black Ops 1, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, World at War, etc. Because they were proud of it back then. Like, they did not try to hide it. Once Ghosts came out and more people were on Black Ops 2 than Ghosts, that's when they started hiding it. And they've hit it ever since because they're a bunch of pussies. That's the truth. There is no dressing it up. That's not my opinion. That is a motherfucking fact, bro. All right, let's take a look at this. This video is from F Gamers Famous Gamers on YouTube. You can check his channel out. This video was posted 14 years ago. February 28th, 2011. This is what, 3-4 months after Black Ops 1 came out? Look at this player count on the game. You can see it front and center, but I want you to look at the sheer amount of people playing. This is not dressed up. This is not counting single player. This is not counting zombies. This is not counting all the platforms. This is just the Xbox 360, and this is just multiplayer. One platform, one mode. Look at this player count. 2,938,745. I mean, what more do you want? This is months after release! Months! If we consult the comments section of the video, I'm talking like 14-year-old comments here. This person says, I remember the day of launch, there was 6 million people on PS3. Other comments say some similar stuff. And this is, again, February 28th, well out of the launch period of Black Ops 1 here. It was nearly 4 million on the second day after BO came out. There was 3 million today. I just checked today and there were 3.2 million people online. When I played yesterday, it was 3,102,000 players. Sunday, I saw 3,120,000. The data is there, my guy. Stop spreading horse shit and or educate yourself because you come across like a complete retard. Again, this is not me like dressing it up. This is the truth. I'm consulting a video from 14 years ago. I'll leave it in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. It's pretty crazy stuff. But like, I just don't see how we got to this point. These are the people working on the game now. These people wouldn't know an MP5 from a PS5, man. Like, I just don't think the devs, I'm sorry, I've said this before, and you're welcome to prove me wrong. You're welcome to prove me wrong, like Sledgehammer Games did with Modern Warfare 3. I just don't think the devs, at least for Treyarch, Raven, and Infinity Ward, are talented people. I don't think they are. I mean, I've talked about this before, but like nerdy men made these games, and then all of a sudden they get replaced by everything but nerdy men. They get replaced by like someone who played Farmville and decided they wanted to work on a first-person military shooter. And then Activision says, well, you're 4'9", so you're legally a midget. We don't have any midgets on the team. Let's hire you. Oh, also, you smell of bong resin. That's good. We want to be very progressive with our marijuana usage. So DEI officers, hire them up. That's the extent of it. And it shows. It shows in every facet of the game. Although, to be honest, even those human people are getting replaced by AI. I watched a video from Nero just recently where he covered like the bait and switch ads that Activision were doing. And this wasn't just Call of Duty. They did it for Guitar Hero and I think Tony Hawk as well, where they're trying to survey people and they're like clickbaiting them essentially, but they're doing it with AI generated images. I mean, what timeline are we in? It's honestly gotten to the point where I don't even want to play video games anymore. I'm just done, at least not FPS. I mean, I'm thinking of just taking an extended leave from playing video games, and just, I don't know, I just want to hit the gym hard, you know? Which is a good segue. And that's why I want to talk about GLP-1, and really, I want to talk about it. It's best if I let the renowned neuroscientist Andrew Huberman talk about it from this clip from the Joe Rogan podcast.
A guy down in South America was looking at Gila monsters, those really scary things, and he realized they don't have to eat very often. I wonder if they're hungry all the time or not. Turns out it takes their blood, isolates a peptide, which turns out to be GLP-1, puts it into other animals, and realizes it suppresses appetite. Amazing, right? Like, this is what I love about biology. Some dude who studies Gila monsters. Turns out humans make GLP-1. GLP-1 is stimulated by things like yerba mate tea. Certain other compounds, plant compounds, stimulate its release. But what does it do in the hypothalamus? It suppresses hunger by way of, there's a particular brain arcuate pathway, blah, blah, blah. But it also affects the mechanosensors of the gut so that you feel like your gut's full.
GLP-1's kind of a buzzword over the last couple of years. You've probably heard about it in Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. I'm probably mispronouncing all of those. All of these synthetic GLP-1 medications that people are injecting themselves with for weight loss. Andrew Huberman, however, says that our bodies can actually produce GLP-1 naturally if given the right stimulation. So instead of doing all these injections, and I've seen some Ozempic side effects that are not good at all, you can go about it the natural way instead with Black Forest Supplements. So Black Forest Supplements is a long-time sponsor of this channel, and their scientists have developed this 5-in-1 natural GLP-1 booster. Unlike Ozempic, this GLP-1 booster supports weight loss without affecting bone density or causing muscle loss. It uses natural ingredients like green tea extract, cayenne pepper, etc., which stimulate GLP-1 in your gut and bloodstream. It helps with hunger spikes, making you feel full longer, and helps boost metabolism, all leading to better weight management. And if you're from America like I am, that's something that we need to really work on. So forget about those nasty side effects with the synthetic stuff and get the real deal. And right now, if you buy 2 bottles, you get 1 free. Just go to blackforestsupplements.com/COD or take a picture of the QR code in the middle of the screen. This is an amazing offer, so if you want to naturally boost your GLP-1 levels, check out Black Forest and check them out right now. All right, guys, let's cover these leaks. Black Ops 7, believe it or not, has been leaking bit by bit for months now, which is crazy to think. It seems like these leaks get earlier and earlier, and the games keep getting shittier and shittier every single year. It's like after 1 month, with the next Call of Duty, people are going to be dissatisfied and they're going to want the next one already. Maybe the yearly release thing isn't such a bad idea. Maybe they should just release a new game every 3 months, because that's about how long the player base, the current day player base, can last on this game without tapping out. But let's check out some of these leaks here. So on Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson's site, he says, Insider Gaming has learned that COD 2025, which will be led by Treyarch Games, could have a total of 6 round-based zombies maps during the game's life cycle. They'll probably be AI generated, let's be honest. Details of what Call of Duty 2025 is shaping up to be is already an open secret, including that the game is a Black Ops 2 sequel and that the original Zombies crew is likely making a return. In the map's early development, it's understood that the plan for Zombies was to build the maps from the ground up to allow them to be played in different game modes, including traditional round-based, Grief, and Outbreak. While I'm not a Zombies YouTuber, I want to bring this up first because when it said they want to use these maps for different modes, I don't know, I read that and I'm like, they're going to somehow recycle these assets for multiplayer maps, aren't they? I guarantee you all they're going to do this particular year. I mean, why does this game need to come out first and foremost? We just had Black Ops 6. Why do we need another Black Ops game a year later? Is it going to be a glorified DLC like Modern Warfare 3 was? I mean, spoilers, yes it is. I've been following these leaks for a while, but I don't know. I guarantee you they're going to just recycle Black Ops 2 maps from the past, and then the quote-unquote new maps are going to just be AI-generated slop, probably, from these assets and Zombies. They're going to do that and call it a day. These devs are terrible. Activision's terrible. Everyone that worked there collectively are the laziest bunch of fuckers I have ever seen. I'm calling it right now. These maps are going to be either recycled from past games or they're going to be like sharing assets across the board to fill the gaps and save on time. That's what I think. But wait, it gets worse. And this one is something that they actually held back here. As in, this was supposed to be put into this year's game, but how are they going to sell next year's game unless they hold back ideas and stuff and, you know, take them out of the current iteration? They could patch this into Black Ops 6 right now, by the way. It's literally going to be the same game with a few added features from what I hear, but slightly different timeline, you know, using Black Ops 2 as nostalgia bait, basically. So Ghost of Hope says, and he says this in November, by the way, this is how wall running is in Black Ops 7, by the way. It's basically more realistic than Black Ops 3. I've seen people confuse themselves trying to picture it. Yes, they're going to put in wall running to add on to the clunky Omni movement. I have been a big caller-outer, I guess is the word, for Omni movement because I think it's an absolute mess. Nothing needed to be done with Omni movement except to make the base walking speed the base sprinting speed and then make tac sprint the regular sprint speed. As it stands now, the controls are a complete mess. You will turn into Rey Mysterio sometimes just trying to crouch now because you have to set it up to auto sprint anyway. Why not just make the base walking speed faster and then make like sprinting tac sprinting the new sprint speed if you're going to go that route? It like saves on the complication. I mean, if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you're a fellow nerd like I am, then back me up on this, please. We don't need to click sprint in any direction. Just make it the base walking speed. No one's going to be like walking slow anyway in a game like this. It's super fast. So I just don't understand. And like, it's going to be the same clunky mess, and they're adding in another component to it with this wall running thing. I'm sorry. Who wants this? Who asked for this? Who said, you know what I want? I want to see some parkour wall running in Black Ops 7. Like, nobody in their fucking right mind has ever said that as it pertains to this series. Nobody wants this. And yet the things we actually want, they won't give to us. Let me just show you guys this really quick, okay? This is the comment section for the Verdansk trailer for the new Warzone drop or whatever, April 3rd, the new Warzone season. And it's not really going to have anything that's going to be game-changing for Black Ops 6, so it's not even going to save that part of the game. But Activision legitimately thinks, these dumb fucking idiots legitimately think that this is going to stop the player base from bleeding. Look at these comments on the Verdansk trailer. Let's just read them off one by one, shall we? At this point, just open the Warzone 1 servers. Honestly, just open the Warzone 1 server. The map is not the only thing we loved. We loved the mechanics, the simplicity. To everyone out there, let's make it clear to Activision, we don't just want Verdansk back, we want everything back. The movement, the mechanics, the graphics, the sounds, the vehicles. We want OG Warzone, the game that made us stay up all night. Please bring back the OG engine, the lighting, the color, the ambience, the sounds, the subtle music. It's not just the map. They want the engine, the movement, and the feeling of MW 2019 back, please. Something tells me it won't be the same as it once was. We don't only want the map, we want the entire pack with the original engine, mechanics, vehicles, sounds, operators, weapons. Just enable MW 2019 Warzone 1 servers already and let us enjoy the game as it was before. I mean, how dense are these people? We are literally screaming for what we want. The Warzone community is literally screaming for what they want. The last thing that Call of Duty ever made that had a modicum of soul was Warzone 1, I think. And I'm not a Warzone fan, trust me. They made Warzone 1. They were like, wow, this is really popular. This exceeds our expectations. Let's ruin it. That's what they did. It's not been good since MW 2019's version. Like, as soon as Warzone 2 dropped, it completely failed. And now it's in a state so bad that they're thinking of canceling it if this map doesn't turn things around. Spoilers, it won't. Let's get back to the leaks, though. Let's cover some more zombie stuff with Black Ops 7 here. Rumor, Black Ops 7 maps possibly include, and I'm assuming this is zombies, a post-World War II New York where Nazis dropped a nuke, Japanese temple by an erupting volcano, a space station in the dark aether, a Vietnam map, an Afghanistan map. Well, that sounds pretty cool, but I have to ask again, why not just include it in Black Ops 6? What is stopping you? Like, I fail to understand how they are stretched so thin. They have to do the yearly releases with these glorified DLCs now. If this game is going to be called Black Ops 7, it is going to be a colossal failure. You're better off calling it World at War Titty Milk Edition or something. And that's a shout out to my sponsor, GamerSupps. I'm actually drinking some titty milk right now. Not actual titty milk like Activision likes, you know, it's just simulated. The point is, though, is that, like, this doesn't need to be its own game. Why have this in a new game? It gets worse, though, okay? So this is going to be sarcasm, but read between the lines. The Ghost of Hope says, yo, Treyarch, I have this crazy idea you should implement in your next game that's never been done before. Basically, I call it Pick 10, and you basically pick 10 things from Create a Class, like perks, attachments, wildcards, tacticals, lethals, etc. Thoughts? If you couldn't tell from this sarcasm, Pick 10 is coming back to multiplayer. And I'm not going to sit here and even pretend to be excited for this, because this should have never went away in the first place. They took this away with Modern Warfare 2019. Why? Because fuck us. That's why. Only to bring it back later as a quote-unquote new feature. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this right now. Stamp this, clip this, whatever. Come back to this video and tell me if I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat here, okay? This is going to be a colossal failure of a Call of Duty. They cannot just bank on nostalgia without addressing the core issues of the game, and it's clear as day with this Verdansk re-release, they're doing just that. The worst part about this is that they're not going to change anything. I actually DM'd Ghost of Hope, and he clarified. I said, if Verdansk fails to move the needle, and they continue to lose players, are they going to change course for BO7 this year, in your opinion? No, BO7 pretty locked in at this point. absolutely no feedback we are going to give for this game when the inevitable beta drops is going to change anything. It's going to be the same AI slop with a player base that, quite frankly, collectively has had enough. Raise your hand if you've had enough, viewer. Raise in the comment section below. Like this video if you are just over this slop. Like, I'm sorry, with GTA 6 coming out, this is the best they have. This is the best they have to offer. A nostalgia trip, a week like we have Black Ops 2 at home release, this glorified DLC that just could be patched into Black Ops 6 as it stands as a full entry title. I'm sorry. This is not gonna fly. This is not gonna fly. Guys, look at these player numbers. I keep showing them to you because they keep falling. And I've done the math here. Steam represents about 15 to 20% of the COD player base. We did the math when the player counts leaked, was it 2 years ago, with Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2? And I'll show you that as well. But like, look at this. The average players have dipped to record lows. If this represents 15 to 20% of the player base, we're looking at like a couple 100,000 across all modes. And keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, PC is the premier platform for Call of Duty now. You can't just depend on consoles to carry you like it's still 2010 with Black Ops 1. Xbox is a shell of its former self. It represents the smallest cut of the pie, and PlayStation really isn't setting the world on fire. It's kind of holding its ground. I think if you're a casual console gamer, you want PlayStation. Or even if you're a serious console gamer, you want PlayStation. Nobody's really buying Xbox. Like, it's just not really a thing people do anymore. It's really fallen from grace. But most people are transitioning to PCs. The backwards compatibility, the bigger libraries, etc., etc. It just makes more sense in 2025 that people would be doing that. And that's factual stuff. I'm not just making that up, guys. Kotick said it under oath, and this was like 2 years ago, and it's only grown since then as far as, you know, Steam player numbers, PC player numbers in general. But like, the player count did leak, and I want you to compare this player count, by the way, to what we had in Black Ops 1 on one platform with one mode. I want you to keep in mind this number I'm going to show you that leaked out years ago was every single mode. All right? Everything from single player to the options menu to multiplayer to zombies to DMZ to Warzone, you name it, it was included in this player count. So Insider Gaming says, at the time of the image, 7 p.m. GMT, and this is from OXO Museum in Spain, this is a legit video game history museum, it appears that 424,000 people were playing Warzone 2. 184,000 were playing Modern Warfare 2, and 406,000 were playing COD Mobile. Those numbers are absolutely pathetic. That is embarrassing. That is a shell of what the numbers once were on one single platform years ago, decades ago at this point. What is the excuse? I'm going to tell you guys this right now. This whole matchmaking system, every single thing Activision does, it's not to retain players. It's to nickel and dime players. They take every shortcut imaginable, like making everything always online, counting 4 games into one client, yada yada, to make it appear like Call of Duty's absolutely booming. But the reality is that they've taken so many shortcuts, they've nickel and dimed the player base to death, they have milked us dry, and every single person, even the people probably still playing the game, are sick of it. We're just sick of it. These numbers are pathetic compared to the numbers of old, but they make more money now. I mean, when you sell a $30 Battle Pass extension every season, when you sell $30 bundles, when you sell Ninja Turtles for like $30 a piece and just slightly change the color of their little, bandanas they have on, and do all that stuff, yeah, they're going to make more money. The entire system is to make money from idiots. Guys, that's what it is. That's what I've been saying for years. It's not there to retain players. I showed you Black Ops 1's player count, Black Ops 1's player numbers, okay? No skill-based matchmaking to speak of. None. And that's one mode. Like, God knows how many people were actually playing zombies and campaign across all the platforms at that time. And what's great about that example I'm showing you, that was from February 28th, so just a couple of weeks ago. We could pretty much directly compare it to Black Ops 6 and Warzone and all the other Call of Duties in the hub today. It is embarrassing. And it's not even all the platforms. It's not even all the platforms. PlayStation 3 numbers were pretty close to Xbox's. I don't think they were as popular as Xbox 360 back in the day. And PC was kind of a footnote after, I believe it was Modern Warfare 2 burned the PC community for Call of Duty. So, you know, it's like this thing's transitioned now to PC being the premier platform because of crossplay and whatnot. But the player numbers just aren't what they used to be. And it's because the games suck. They don't care. They want to sell you the game, and they want to sell the people that are dumb enough to stay on the game for months at a time after, like, you know, 80% of the player base has left. They want to just nickel and dime those people to death. They want to take shortcuts and skew the data in their favor. It's absolutely embarrassing. The games may still sell pretty well. The games may make more money than ever, but more and more players are waking up and they are leaving. They are tired of it. And I've proven it to you with factual numbers, hard data, you name it. Black Ops 7, those are the leaks we currently have. The game doesn't need to exist. All of this stuff, and I want to reiterate here in closing, I want to reiterate from a trusted leaker that the Pick 10 system was supposed to be in Black Ops 6, but it was nixed. It was nipped in the bud because they wanted to sell it next year. And I have a video with a similar title I did, I think it was last summer. And that video did really well. And I'm going to link that at the end of this one if you want to check it out. But I called it. I said they're going to be holding things back in Black Ops 6 here to sell you for the next year. The stuff's done. They just are holding off on it to sell you the next game because that is their whole MO. Sell idiots yearly releases. That they are, you know, Call of Madden at this point. It's pathetic. Stop with the yearly releases. Stop insulting the intelligence of your fan base. What's left of the fan base, they might be drooling morons, but the people that have left will not come back because you've lost our goodwill. You've lost our trust. You could literally say, hey, we'll give you $100 if you come back and play this game. And like, we wouldn't believe you. We just wouldn't believe you. It's done. I'm calling it right now. Black Ops 7 is going to flop. With GTA 6 and the general fatigue that the Call of Duty fanbase is just experiencing as a whole, this game will not be it. Verdansk will not be it. They are going to fail twice this year, and I am here for it. I would be shocked if Verdansk even gets the Steam player counts up over 100,000 players, even for a couple of weeks. I just don't see it happening. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong and they, you know, surprise me, I'm more power to them. I will eat my hat. But that's my prediction, and I have a pretty good track record for that stuff. I'm out of time, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.